the entirety of the weekend that was. I want to start with the Egg Bowl between Mississippi and Mississippi State. The heavy rumors going into that game, even up until kickoff, was that Lane Kiffin was out. He was headed to Auburn. I met with him during the week. He didn't really give us any indication either way, but didn't say that he wasn't going at the time. And here we have it. They lose 4 of 5 to end the season. Mike Leach gets his first win against Lane Kiffin, and now Lane's staying at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, of all the statements made publicly, and that's all we know, you may have heard some privately, the most ridiculous, Matt, is what Lane Kiffin said yesterday, that he did not announce, I'll try to say this without breaking down into hysteria. He did not announce that he was staying at Ole Miss before the game because he thought it might adversely affect his team. Now, I don't understand what that means. It seems like if you're about to play the biggest game of the year and you say, guys, I've been offered a job, but I'm staying here. Bam.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's total BS. And I mean, only Lane Kiffin could not only say that, but until this conversation, get away with it. Because I know people who go, oh, yeah, well, you're right, Lane. And then he continues to attack the reporter who reported that he was leaving on Friday, which was a major mistake. Nobody with any understanding, as you well know, would have been he would not have been leaving Friday, but with Cadillac Williams coaching Saturday. But Lane can't stay out of his way. In the end, this stuff goes away very quickly. Ole Miss, I'm sure, is happy to have him. The end of the season was an absolute disaster. And guess what? Lane Kiffin gets paid, so does he really care?
It's his third extension since arriving at Oxford. Oh, by the way, in case you're keeping track, in 3 seasons. The thing that I've learned over the past 72 hours that I need Jimmy Sexton as my agent, so that I can be rumored to go everywhere and then just keep getting incremental pay raises to stay where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Sexton doesn't even have to try anymore to humiliate athletic directors. I mean, he just does it in his sleep, and he does it everywhere. I mean, and he takes no prisoners. It doesn't matter where you are, he will make you look foolish.
And this is, now that we know Lane's staying, probably neither here nor there, but there was that report going around that there was a meeting. He called a team meeting on Tuesday night to let them know what was going on. That report I can refute because Lane told me what happened. Every week there's what they have a players only meeting with some of the staff or some of the assistant where they just kind of go over things for the week, how everybody's just kind of a get together. Lane never goes to that, never speaks at that. That meeting was going on Tuesday because of the reports that were out there. Lane knew, and the players told us this. Jackson Dart told us this, that the players were like, well, what the hell is this report? Like, they weren't too happy about it. So Lane, what he did was attend that meeting on Tuesday to tell them, guys, I haven't taken a job. I haven't taken anything. I would tell you if I had. And so that kind of, quieted that down. But it wasn't a emergency team meeting like it was reported.
And the translation, before we move on, Ole Miss is at 8.5. Auburn's at 9. If I get Ole Miss to 9, then I will say that I was never leaving in the first place.
There you go. Leverage, baby. You don't have anything unless you have leverage in any industry, really. So Lane Kiffin, check 1. We'll get out of that. Let's now turn our attention to what that means, because I love talking coaching stuff with you and kind of industry stuff, because now that Lane Kiffin's out, it would appear, based on reports, and it's possible we're recording this at 11 a.m. on Sunday. This could happen long after it's posted, but It would appear that Hugh Freeze is now I don't want to say leading candidate, but one of the top candidates for the Auburn vacancy, because Lane Kiffin is not.
Note to the audience, and I know sometimes we get too inside baseball, but the second the Kiffin story is out that he's staying, the next story comes out that Hugh Freeze is next in line. Now, where does that come from? Does Hugh Freeze call up these reporters? No, that's Sexton. He represents Hugh Freeze too. So Sexton throws that one out there, trying to force Auburn into a corner. And and then what happens, Matt? Hugh Freeze's team goes out and lays the biggest egg, I think, of the year in college football. I don't even remember the team they lost to. But New Mexico, is it New Mexico State?
Mexico State, yeah. They were 20-something point favorites and got absolutely pummeled.
And I mean, we talked about Hugh Freeze weeks ago when they beat BYU and Arkansas, and then they just fall apart down the stretch. Why? I'm sure because Hugh Freeze is rumored to be leaving, and then some of the people at Liberty were yelling yesterday, "Good Auburn, coach." I mean, that's how bad things have gotten. And he does not come into Auburn clean. I mean, there's some people that really are going, okay, so you tried that. You almost fired Brian Harsin a couple of months ago because of all these rumors, and now you're bringing in Hugh Freeze. What's going on here? He's still a very good coach. We all repeat after me. He beat Nick Saban 2 years in a row. Okay, we all know that. He's coaching the SEC. He got fired for a lot of reasons, and I bring all that up to say none of that matters anymore to anyone because this is a new era in college football. So he limps into the job, assuming it's him. If it's not him, Matt, your guess would be as good as mine.
Yeah, because look, here's how I attack these things after last year's hiring cycle when no one saw Lincoln Riley coming and no one saw Brian Kelly coming. No one. No. Here's how I attack these things now. Hugh Freeze, I've said it before. You've mentioned it before. It's a logical hiring, although the juxtaposition of the new AD Cohen, who came from Mississippi State, while the Hugh Freeze mess was going on, it's a little wonky. But here's what I'll say. I believe that timing's right, isn't it? With Cohen at Mississippi State. So it all kind of jives in there. But until someone's named, I would not throw out the possibility of a surprise big hire at Auburn because a hire has yet to be made.
Yeah, and there are a lot of names making the rounds, and we'll spare you because I mean, as Matt reiterated, and you know, we could do this at midnight, but we like to do this in the morning to get it to you so you can digest it while you're still thinking about last weekend. So that's what we know, and what we know is about the same as you probably knew before you turned this podcast on. But you know, should he be introduced on Monday? It will go over well. The Cadillac train crashed yesterday in Tuscaloosa. It was a great run. Everyone loves him. Everyone now has made Cadillac Williams a lot of money on the new coaching staff. But that story is over.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.